All right, thank you so very much for being here. If you just watching or you just joined us, it's still Enterprise the Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our main conversation for today. The Federal High Court in Abuja granted bail to former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello on Friday, with conditions set at 500 million naira and two sureties owning land properties in Abuja.
Justice Emeka Wite emphasized the court's discretion in granting bail, despite concerns about the defendant's prior conduct. Bello, facing 19 charges from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) related to 80.2 billion naira in alleged fraud, pleaded not guilty during his arraignment.
The EFCC initially opposed the bill, but later withdrew objections, with the prosecution acknowledging the defense assurance that Bello posed no flight risk. The court mandated that Bello surrender his international passport and meet specific bail conditions, including sureties swearing, affidavits of means and verifying properties and documents.
The defendant's lawyer apologized for earlier legal maneuvers that delayed proceedings and assured the court of Bello's commitment to attend all trial dates. Justice Wite scheduled the trial for February and March 2025 and ordered Bello's remand in Kuje prison until bail conditions are fulfilled.
Bello is also facing a separate charge of 110.4 billion naira in a different court, where he remains in custody due to procedural issues with his bail application. We still have with us Emeka Madunago and Innocent Adeloba. Thank you, gentlemen, for hanging on.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you. Emeka, I'd love to start with you on this particular one. I know we've always said alleged. You know, they said it's the newest mantra in Nigeria now. If you don't want to face defamation and libel and all that, you have to put alleged in it. So how much of this alleged must we put to order to maybe start saying the truth here? 110 billion naira is no small money. 80 point something billion is no small money. But this man is being granted 500 million naira bail to that. Please talk to us.
You see, insofar as the matter is before a court, it is a court that can determine that your claims are valid and to what extent. You say a man did XYZ. It's only the court that can determine whether truly the man did that thing or not. An accused also is an accused person, is a suspect. He has a right to defend himself. EFCC is not a court. EFCC is not a tribunal. EFCC is just an investigating agency, just a prosecuting agency, prosecutorial agency. It's even the Federal Ministry of Justice that will even give leave for the prosecution to take place. So the fact that EFCC said that he, attached charges, of 110 billion naira, fraud, against him, filed against him, doesn't make it true.
Really? So you mean they have not done their investigations to
are you telling no, let me throw the question back to you. Are you saying because it's EFCC, everything they say is true? You see, we should win ourselves away from this lynching, this idea that we must lynch somebody. We hear thief. People run after the person and just put a tire on the person, pour petrol and burn. We should move away from that.
Now, Emeka, sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
If you're saying what the EFCC is saying is not true.
I'm not saying, no. I said EFCC went to court and filed charges against Alhaji Yahaya Bello.
Okay.
The court has exercised its discretion in the matter by saying, okay, that previous issues in this matter whereby, he didn't appear for certain reasons, which his lawyer said were not meant to disparage, the court or bring it into disrepute, but to protect his fundamental human rights, which the Constitution guarantees. So that he is here now, he is not a flight risk. And for that reason, they are filing a bail application. And the court exercises its discretion to grant him bail. So let us please follow the law. It's not, it's not in the best interest of, anyone for us to just say because the EFCC or the police or anybody said so and so and so. Okay, we saw the case of Binance, where the spokesperson to the president, Bayo Ononuga, came out and made all kinds of allegations. At the end of the day, was the federal government able to prove his allegations against Binance? The answer is no.
So
the matter had to be withdrawn.
What you're trying to say now is the EFCC is not able to prove the allegation against
No, it's the court that will determine whether they are able to prove the allegations or not.
A transparent court.
Transparent court.
Yes.
No, when you say transparent court, I hope you are not trying to despise you.
No,
what I'm saying is the court. The prosecution will present his case. The defense will also present his case, and then it will not be left to the Justice Nwite to now make a pronouncement. And it's at the Federal High Court. Whichever way it goes, there is still option of going to the appeal court, an option of going to the Supreme Court. So, and then there's still the other matter before Justice Aneni. So what we need to do is to observe the proceedings and let the court, exercise its full discretion in the matters.
Okay, thank you, Emeka. Innocent, what is your reaction to this? Do you agree with some of the submission of Emeka? Now, if Emeka is saying that we're waiting for the courts, now in a country where he was a sitting governor, and we cannot trace any business, because most times before they come into power, they ask them to actually declare their assets. And we cannot say, okay, this person who is being accused of such humongous amount of money does not have something else he's doing aside from being in power. What is your reaction to this?
Exactly.
As regards to agreeing, I am aligned with him, first off, that bail is at the discretion of the court, whether opposed or supported. That is sacrosanct.
Because it's a bailable offense.
Yes. I'm also thinking that there will be a lot of celebration in the camp of His Excellency, former Governor Yaya Bello. If you look at the Learned Senior Counsel, who is his defendant, J.B. Daudu, SAN, would have been seen to have done the needful. Well, no, these are facts on the table.
Yeah, because when you say he has done the needful, it takes my mind back to something. But
that was what he was hired to do as a defender.
No, doing the needful means presenting presenting his plea before the court.
Okay. Yes.
That's what it means. What I believe it means by doing the needful.
He has, of course, you look at, based on the detour exhibited by that learned man, the Justice Nwite cannot but bow to this. These are all the legal acrobatics on display. Like we are flirting with the word transparent or not, the court has its style. The court has its style. What I am miffed about is of the 36 governors who just finished their tenure. Do we chase only like Yaya Bello? Has he fallen out of some political romance in the places where his protections were guaranteed?
Or was it because he ran for president?
There are various...
He sought the APC's ticket for president.
That, another of his political colleague, so to speak, in the college of presidential aspirants, in the deposed CBN governor, is also singing tenor across the locked gate.
Yes, because that was why, when you started your submission and you mentioned how that the Leonard, a man had done what he was supposed to do. Yes,
that's what
of course, I totally agree. But that brought me back to the Nigeria and its criminal justice system. Let's not, pretend or maybe act like the ostrich that hides its head, right there in the sand while the whole of the body is exposed.
Okay.
As media, our desire is to mirror, is to carry out a forensic, analysis and study of some of these things, pan towards here, pan towards there, and maybe come to a round table. So Nigerians are really angry, visibly angry, across all social media platforms. The cry is Nigeria and its criminal justice system. At what point would we say we are going to get it right? Because with what he's been mated on to Yahaya Bello, it means it's an open sesame to all our politicians to do as they please.
You see, I haven't landed.
Yes, please do.
I'm asking the question, is Yahaya Bello a political victim? Because if we want to sanitize Nigeria, it doesn't need to start with Yahaya Bello.
So where does it start from?
Oh, a long queue ago. But let me also make this submission. the EFCC, like I think the foundation of it, if I agree, the EFCC is also an appendage of the law enforcement apparatus of this country, so they cannot prosecute. So we cannot tie this around their integrity, whether Yaya Bello was roped in or declared guilty or not. The EFCC are errand boys. They apprehend, they hand over to the court. And then we now hope, in quote, the court goes transparent in their processes. But I would think that proportional to the amount banded, allegedly, the 500 million is way very low. If we look at the resources available at the disposal of a governor in Nigeria across 8 years, the ratio of that 500 million is infinitesimal. Is a drop in the ocean. But I think, I don't know, the court should do their due, but Bello, for me, I might be wrong, it's not part of the main problems of this country. For all we have been saying on this table, people are hungry, the currency is impotent, that's my favorite word, and legitimate, intelligent, professional Nigerians are gathering resources assiduously to exodus this country on a daily mammoth level. You just go to the international airport and you will be astounded how people with their sanity intact are fleeing their ancestral fatherland. And we say we are not at war, everything is fine. It's political mysteries and political miracles.
Okay.
It's beyond the Yaya Bello.
Thank you so much, Innocent. Now, Emeka Manago, I want to cite one of his, the quote from his lawyer, and he said he assured the court that his client would attend all trial dates, stating that Bello, a two-term governor who had traveled abroad only twice, posed no flight.
When he was governor.
When he was governor, posed no flight risk. Now, if he is saying that he is going to show up, using him not traveling only twice as an example, now, what stopped him from actually showing up when he was not even going to travel and when he was in the country, and he was now banking on the immunity of the sitting governor?
No. He had left the office of governor.
Yes, he has left.
So he went to enforce his fundamental human rights. And of course, he actually went to court to say that the EFCC, the charges that the EFCC have piled up against him, that they are not, that they cannot stand the test of time. That is one. Two, that what the EFCC was doing in the media amounted to media trial. That the EFCC was putting him on trial in the media without even giving him a chance to have his day in court. And so he believed that there was some political vendetta, political persecution in the whole matter. And that's why he needed to get the protection of the court to ensure that he would not be persecuted. If you want to prosecute him, he had nothing against it, as stated by his counsel. He had nothing against prosecuting him. But do not try to weaponize, the idea that you're going to court against him. Don't weaponize your charges, as a battering ram, to destroy his person, to destroy his reputation, to destroy his image. If you're going to court, go to court. And to that extent, the same Yaya Bello surrendered himself. If you remember, some months ago, he was there with the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Usman Ododo. They were there for 4 hours. They were the headquarters of the FCC. They waited and waited. And it was later confirmed that truly they were there. So, at the end of the day, a top official of the FCC went to meet them that, okay, they could go back, that they will come and meet them. So, the fact of the matter is that, the court looks at the facts. The court does not look at emotions. The court or sentiment. The court looks at the facts. And the fact on the ground is this. As governor, he traveled by air only twice, because Yaya Bello is not somebody who likes flying, he's not that kind of person, So he flew only twice. So for you to say, okay, no, don't grant him bail, because he's a threat to national security, he's a flight risk. There's nothing like that. Two, the learned counsel, said that he would ensure that Yaya Bello attends his trial in court. So to that extent, the court looked at everything and said, well, the fact that he was not present at previous hearings, at previous sittings, didn't mean that he had an intention to bring the court into disrepute or to disrespect the court, and that was stated clearly, and the court exercised its discretion to grant him bail. Talking about the size of the bail, well, I think we shouldn't be found trying to question the discretion of the court, because bail actually is not a fundraising exercise for the court. Bail is actually
that's
to show
on paper.
No. That is how legal procedures work now. Find out how court procedures work. Bail is not, it's not a fundraising exercise. Bail is to ensure that somebody of right standing, somebody of, immense standing in the society, commensurate to the status of the person facing trial, can actually produce that person in court. That is why you drop a bail bond. So they will say, okay, we are going to hold you in custody, till the next trial date. If the person doesn't, I'm coming. If the person doesn't,
will they return the bail?
When the person appears now, of course, you have discharged your duty as a shorty.
So you will keep back
yes.
500.
No, you are not giving them money. You are only giving a guarantee, a bond in the sum of this. It's not as if you are going to sign.
That if the person fails, that will translate to actual.
The court will now look into it, and then the shorty will be in danger of forfeiting that bail bond. But that depends on the circumstances before the court. The court will look into it that, for instance, this person is of, respectable standing in the society. So, if he discharges his own duty as a shorty, but due to just like the case of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu now, and the Senator Inaya Abaribe, of course, where he said that, look, you cannot say that as a shorty he did not discharge his duty, because because the Nnamdi Kanu was on bail when soldiers went and invaded his house, and he had to flee for his life. So you cannot say that he did not produce Nnamdi Kanu. The onus should be on the military. That why, to explain why they invaded the house of somebody standing bail, to the extent that his life was in danger and he had to flee to safety.
Thank you so much, Emeka. Thank you.
Anyway, what I may add is brief. It's very brief. We will not question the size of the bail, but I would say that from your explanation, in the situation where there is forfeiture, Governor Yaya Bello is big enough to fund his surety that amount to so that's where
that's an assumption.
He is big enough.
That's an assumption.
It will not be respectful to say on a platform like this that after 2 tenure, one governor cannot
but I hope you know that there is a former Senate President, Joseph Wires, whose body, was in the morgue for 2 years because the family, due to certain family issues, and I think the family couldn't even raise the money to bring his body back from abroad. And then I hope you know,
Joseph Wires.
No, it doesn't matter. You said he was you said he's a former governor.
A governor, sir, pardon the time, is a subset of the political hierarchy.
So hold on.
Is a it's a sitting person.
Yes.
Administering territory with resources at his disposal. Not so for a Senate president.
No, let me tell you. Alhaji Yahya Bello was a businessman who got into governance. But for you to assume that
trial not for business, but for his tenure as governor.
Yes,
and we cannot say it's not worth assuming that
I hope you are not assuming that he has the 110 billion that the EFCC said he has, so that he can. No, I hope you are not assuming.
No, those are your words.
No, I hope you are not assuming
those are your words.
Because he is actually an accused person.
I am allowed to
put him on trial because it's left to the court to determine whether there's any substance in the allegations of the EFCC.
All I would say here is, if the EFCC are these efficient, we need more of the Yahya Bellos.
No, not more of the Yahya Bellos. More former governors, more former senators, more former ministers. Not more Yahya Bellos, because you are not assuming that is guilty, until proven innocent before the law. An accused person is adjudged innocent.
At the level of the EFCC, there is no guilt. Yes.
Very, very well said.
But EFCC has engaged in witch hunt, in media.
Well, you are contradicting yourself.
Well said. Let's not forget, even the current Minister of State for Defense, Matawale, is still being handled by the EFCC for 70 billion in naira fraud from Zamfara. So
why did they sleep on the case of Senate President?
All right.
Godswill Akpabio.